a different game, right? Had this been a different stage, maybe we see some different options being taken, right? Maybe we see the super clone recovery on that last, little bit of availability for Triforce. Instead, we have to see that smoke come out because you need that double jump to get back. You need those ways how to mix up. You can't be going too low on a stage like Aramata, and the counter pick ends up paying out dividends for DOSBox. But Triforce put up a good showing, and that might not be the last we see of this man.
Oh, definitely definitely might not fall down to, I think, Losers finals, am I right?
I believe so.
Yeah. So definitely would not be surprised to see if they hold on, but we still have a lot of losers to come, like this match right here, ConceptOfDe4th versus Hobby. Again, we saw ConceptOfDe4th's Absa earlier, really nice with the Cloud, these upbeat shenanigans. Definitely is also just playing a very new character too, very difficult for people to sort of just grasp. On the other side of this though, Kragg, definitely a consistently scary character to fight against, especially for a character like Absa, I personally feel like.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I will say though, is that Kragg in this game in particular has seemed to have a lot of trouble with Absa. There's a lot of these setups that existed in the first game that no longer are available. In the first game, Absa's up B being reverse disjointed meant that Absa was not able to break Kragg pillar with the up B. That's not the case anymore for this game. So Kragg can't just set up a pillar and decide, oh, well, Absa doesn't get a way how to get back to stage. No, it's usually all about that edge guard, but unless you have the shards exactly on point, it's going to be pretty dang difficult to edge guard this GOAT, even without the wall jumps on the up Bs available.
Definitely. Very true. Opposite of this though, I feel like this Kragg one character that got is like super good at just killing Absa, if that makes sense. And definitely the neutral.
100%.
Yeah, the neutral, especially with the rock right here, seeing it come out right here, can definitely be pretty difficult for Absa to deal with. It depends on how often Hobby just gets to sort of pull that out.
Yeah, that's a real big question here. And honestly, my big question is how much is Hobby going to be going for these floor hugs, right? Because against Absa, there's a lot of different ways how to deal with floor hugs. We talked about the Nair earlier, but I think against ConceptOfDe4th in particular, floor hugging is not a bad option. We see a lot of these aggressive zips, a lot of these aggressive kicks, and no floor hugging available when you're holding that rock.
Definitely. No, I was just saying though, definitely inherently just sort of there's sort of go-to flow charts in the offense or things like stuff like that, which you need to crouch cancel, or else people will just like zip all over you, right? Definitely super crucial. And the kill right there though, even the backup is Hobby.
Yeah, I mean, there's at the very least a few things that Absa also loses in the matchup. There used to be a true infinite if Kragg was holding rock with Absa Nair, but thankfully not going to be around quite anymore. But who cares about infinites when you just have infinite pressure?
Yeah, dude, the offstage pressure at the ConceptOfDe4th super good too. Now never letting Hobby recover for free. Kragg again, pretty good recovery, all things considered, but on top of it, it's ConceptOfDe4th.
Yeah, ConceptOfDe4th always going to be the one staying at the end. They're going to be having a little bit of a hiccup here, but right now, 116%, we might start seeing things like the down throw down strong come in from Hobby. Might be seeing the back air forward air if we can get the opportunity coming through, but no floor hugging coming in for Hobby. And dude, ConceptOfDe4th is going to take that one right to the bank.
That's super important, bro. Especially in this game, bro. If you're not floor hugging officially, you let your opponent get away with just so much, right? And we kind of see that a little bit right there. The down air coming out to finish that stock in stylish fashion. Good first game from ConceptOfDe4th. But yeah, dude, floor hugging, dude, is super important. Just prevent your opponent from just sort of letting them run over you with these free options that you can do things about, as you were saying.
Yeah, I mean, that was also a terrifying way for ConceptOfDe4th to end that one. Just drop real low, went with the cloud hop into immediate down air, so that way it's a guaranteed sweet spot on that cloud. And worst case scenario, you whiff. Hobby manages to get a tech, something crazy like that. You've still got the double jump. You've still got ways to get back to stage first. And it's just a matter of holding on to that pressure. And ConceptOfDe4th is not letting go.
Definitely, again, every time we get off stage, bro, it's definitely such a difficult situation for Hobby to come back from. Very good, just sort of awareness on that. We're going to Far Capital, game 2 though. How do you feel about the stage?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's an okay stage. It allows you to survive a little bit longer if possible. But the big question is, do you have the consistent kill confirms onto the Absa? That's the big thing about this stage with Kragg, right? So much of it says, I can survive, but I can also kill you in the same way that I can kill everyone.
I was definitely saw Hobby had a little bit of trouble in these skill verbs earlier though, so I'm unsure. Meanwhile, ConceptOfDe4th, no problem whatsoever getting the Nair for their sweet spot. Steamroll this even further.
Yeah, I mean, there's a question. That question still has not been answered affirmatively from Hobby. So we have to figure out, you know, is this a good pick for him? Like, is he going to be able to get these kills outside of those, you know, down strong reads? At the very least, it takes the stock.
Oh yeah, definitely a big thing with these sort of the stage picks, right? Even if a character theoretically can do better in this matchup, right? If you're you yourself cannot adjust to the stage, rather, it can definitely not pay off well. That 4 strong was crazy, by the way.
Yeah, hold on. Maybe Hobby's been cooking.
Definitely. They got more of those in the tank, and definitely will come to show. We see more strong read attempts. If they hit, they definitely can work out pretty well, but ConceptOfDe4th has to be a more consistent around with it. These edge guard scenarios gonna be good no matter the stage you are on right here. The offstage pressure, always scary, but potential reverse situation for Hobby right now. Oh! I was trying to no down strong there, no confirm off of that. No death right off that quite yet, but still good lesson there right here. Love the angle on the shards.
Yeah, but in the meantime, ConceptOfDe4th gonna be able to sneak right back onto stage there. Hobby still not gonna be able to find a way to kill the forward strong to call out that forward air, but the fact that it's going to come down to the reads is looking good for Hobby. Like, honestly, you cover up that ping. This looks like a game played at, you know, 100 ping cross-country between these two. But instead, it's a matter of finding out what works between both of these players. Sometimes you have players that will just play incredibly cerebrally. And it's just a chess match just between two incredible minds. And sometimes you have matches like this, which is a match of two players trying to eat each other's pieces as quickly as possible.
Essentially, big thing right there. The 4 strong again. The big reads attempts to the down strong sent so far out. I'm not sure if we come back from this as good as edge guards and ConceptOfDe4th been, but he definitely does not quite. Rather down strong once again. We'll take it. Yeah, dude, those reads are like, it's so scary. On one hand, it's just for scary, but both characters rather, because on one hand, you can just sort of kill you with a 4 strong at like 60 or 70, you're dead. On the other hand, you could just often just like whiff these things, you know? So playing like read how you play style, it's always often comes down to how well do you know your opponent's habits and how well can you like find them efficiently, essentially, you know?
Yeah, and one thing I will also know about that stage, right? These crazy reads do get punished a lot less hard if you're on a stage that allows you to live a lot longer. And the same way, you know, a character like Absa does not live very long if one of these reads lands. And the later you get into the game, the more these reads are bound to land, because it's a matter of adjusting to your opponent's playstyle. It's a matter of adjusting to your opponent's habits here. Hobby right now getting adjusted to, and ConceptOfDe4th going straight for it.
One thing that, I don't know, I feel like Hobby hasn't quite adjusted to is just for hugging these options. Again, all that was basically off of just like the up-B sort of situation right there, right? So it's definitely, the defense definitely used a little bit of work in terms of this matchup specifically.
Yeah, but Hobby not hitting down, but definitely hitting that B button as right now. It's a matter of getting as many of these shards as possible, but hasn't been able to do much against these constant hits from ConceptOfDe4th.
Oh yeah, dude, there's just Advanced Shade super smart here. They're playing the neutral pretty well, not overcommitting too much at all, making it really hard for Hobby to really get much going. It seems like they're playing safer as time go on the reverse jab. It's pretty funny.
I mean, we're jabbing in neutral, but as far as ConceptOfDe4th is concerned, it might as well be advantage. Just a matter of these zips. Aggressive once again, not going to get floor hugged and not going to get punished.
Very surprised, honestly. But 69%, 81% further building. ConceptOfDe4th did not quite believe in punishing that right there, even though it had the opportunity to do so. It's okay though, you still got a pretty good lead right now.
It's still a very good lead. No double jump available, but gonna be able to grab that ledge, gonna be able to grab a hold of this lead. Air dodge away from the up air. And once again, the Absa just continues to survive.
Yeah, really high percent, 134%. Not what you want to see, especially at Kragg, bro. The big advantage in this matchup is that you can get these early kills, but not fighting them can be a little rough in the neutral situations, and especially you're getting punished for pulling the pillar right there. Oh, still makes it back though, fortunately for him.
Yeah, able to grab the ledge beautifully with that Sith as well. And once again, TheConceptOfDe4th just looking for a way how to get right back to stage. And
Please,
it's not even a matter of looking for recovery. It's a matter of looking for more and more kills.
Oh yeah, dude.
The Grim Reaper cometh and Hobby is not enjoying it.
TheConceptOfDe4th just playing super just solidly, just all around, dude. Super difficult for Hobby to deal with right now. That was a really risky landing on that pillar, by the way, but unfortunately Hobby not ready to take it away from him.
I mean, I gotta say, Black Kamar, it's just so interesting to see how many of these options are really just Hobby getting called out. TheConceptOfDe4th just says, I swear, there's no way you're gonna pick the right option here. And more often than not, they're right.
Situation where one person is just in the other's head, right? It just makes it so hard for them to pick the right option. Because the options they're picking are just like, they've seen it before, right? You gotta mix it up a bit, or also get a big handle on things like TheConceptOfDe4th is right now.
Yeah, and right now we can see it almost coming through. One stock remaining for Hobby, potentially tournament life here, but if anyone can do it, Kragg's definitely one of the characters who has that ability. Down throw not going to be able to take much more though.
Not quite at all, 143%. Caught the tech, the forward throw. It's only a matter of time until a sweet spot forward there. Maybe a lightning line trying to get right there. Hits. That's maybe a sweet spot forward right there. No, missed the sweet spot.
Missing out on that sweet spot once again. Looks for that tech chase. Beautiful tech actually coming in from Hobby. Once again, not gonna be able to get these kills. I honestly would prefer a random F-Strong at this point from Hobby, but right now it's a matter of trying to find a way to slowly crawl your way back in.
Crawl for sure is the big thing, 184%. You won't be able to get much done. You won't be able to slide with no mistakes right there because that sweet spot forward is coming for you, bro. Get in that game soon. Nothing else. 3-0 fashion, right?
Yeah, I mean,
hey, man.
In the end, 3-0 and a handshake. That's something that it took a little bit for us to see that. We saw the 3-1 in winners semis. We saw the 3-2 in winners finals, but back down in a losers, 3-0 a handshake. The constant pressure from these gatekeepers of that top three is so difficult.